And we are following breaking news happening right now. Take a look here from SkyTrack 7. You can see smoke and flames coming from this large apartment building. We are told people in the area heard an explosion and that there are injuries, possible casualties. Fire crews are, of course, there on the scene. This is all happening at apartments along Lightonsville Road in Silver Spring. We do have crews on the way.
We did have a collapse. There was an obvious explosion. Don't know the root cause of it, but we did have heavy fire upon our arrival.
And the exact moment of that huge explosion at the Friendly Garden Apartments in Silver Spring. At this hour, we're told everyone in the building has been accounted for. And the truly remarkable thing is no deaths reported. But there is a secondary search going on right now. And this is what happened after that explosion. There was a significant fire. They are combing the rubble to make sure no one has been overlooked. 10 people, at last report, have been taken to the hospital with various injuries. The damage is described as catastrophic. That end unit simply doesn't exist anymore.
He calls me and says the building that blew up. I say, what building? He say, Mom's building. So I came right away.
Your mom's name is Blanche. You said she's 78 years old. When you saw her on that bus alive.
Oh, everything. I mean, I just was elated on the inside, but I still feel for those that didn't come out of the building yet.
Thank you.
Okay.
Those are your loved ones?
Yeah. It's a mother.
They're okay.
Yeah, they're okay.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. And this is your family?
Yes.
Who are you seeing inside of the bus that's okay? Is it your mother?
Her mother.
Her mother.
Yeah, I'm the maintenance guy here.
Oh my gosh. Were you the individual that helped Blanche, the 78-year-old woman, out?
Yeah. And another lady, Miss Redore, she's like the last woman that's in after the building blew. So I just grabbed her out the one and brought her out too, so they okay. It's like family. I've been here 13 years, so all of them like family.
It was a massive fire and explosion, collapsing part of an apartment building in Silver Spring today. Multiple people are injured, and we just learned several remain unaccounted for. It happened this morning at the Friendly Garden Apartments.
7 News has been on the scene all day, talking to fire victims and those who help people escape, as well as seeing families reunite. We're bringing you team coverage tonight over the next 2.5 hours. We begin with 7 News Maryland Bureau Chief Brad Bell live at the scene with the new update from officials. Brad.
Yeah, and that is the potentially very sad news that we heard just a short time ago, is that there are some people that are unaccounted for and they will be searching. We'll get to the very latest, but first I want to show you and let you hear the alarming video of that actual explosion. Well, that is what it looked like from a neighboring townhouse. The family has Ring cameras. The person in that house said they were actually looking out the window exactly as it happened, and they watched through the cloud of smoke as some people staggered out, and you heard others saying they raced over to try to help people. What happened here, too early to know, but clearly there is a suspicion that this was a gas explosion, and we have learned from multiple sources that inside the building there was a maintenance man doing some work. That person survived. We don't know the nature of that work, but that is something that they're looking at out here as well. But with regards to the injuries, we've been told that 10 people were transported to hospitals. 3 of them had serious injuries. The other 7 moderate to minor. All day long we were having this described as something of a miracle that there were not fatalities, but yes, just a short time ago we heard this news from the Montgomery County Fire Chief about unaccounted for people.
We do have several unaccounted for. I do not have a number to provide you at this point. We are working with all of our law enforcement agencies, the property managers, and all of the occupants to be able to refine that.
Now, Now, Kevin, we can see right now on our screen some incredible reunions. Some of them you were there for. People raced here to find loved ones. Also tonight, people, though, dealing with tremendous loss. Kevin, you've been taking in the range of emotions there all this afternoon. What are you hearing tonight?
Well, really a lot of relief as people realized their worst fears were unfounded. 7 News was there as Talton Hall marched to this ride-on bus, shouting his mother's name out loud. Hall's mother, who's 78 and on oxygen, lives in the building that exploded. Watch as Hall burst into tears after fire rescue crews told him his mother was alive and uninjured. Hall, who works at the Ellipse for the National Park Service, then collapsed into the arms of a police officer. Hall broke down again a short while later with his son.
Everybody has a mother. When something like that happens, all you want to do is see her and hear her talking to you. I know that's what I wanted.
7 News watched as many others provided emotional support amid disbelief of the situation and a desperate search for loved ones.
Okay.
Those are your loved ones?
Yeah.
They're okay.
Yeah, they're okay.
The man with the black bandana maintains the apartment complex and rescued multiple people.
Miss Vidore, she's like the last woman that's in after the building blew. So I just grabbed her out the one and brought her out too, so they okay. It's like family. I've been here 13 years, so all of them like family.
Officials confirm fire rescue transported 10 people to area hospitals, 3 with serious injuries and 7 less severe. And late afternoon, new word. Some people are unaccounted for. County Executive Mark Elrich toured the scene with his bodyguard in tow. Elrich vowed to get to the bottom of the cause and help the displaced. A local nonprofit has established an online donation page for those displaced. We have a link to it on our website, WJLA.com. We're live in Silver Spring. I'm Kevin Lewis. 7 News.
All right, Kevin, thanks. And let me show you some live images now from Skytrack 7. This puts the devastation into perspective. You can see the roofs blown off those units, but this whole side right here, that was another building. That building was leveled to nothing more than rubble when the explosion took place. After that, the subsequent fire spread into those other units that had already withstood the explosion. So we're looking at serious damage, and the people that were inside there not only were rattled, but then were forced to find an exit because of that fire. They know that there are people that at this point might be unaccounted for. That's the focus right now.
Building fire with explosion.
Now at 11 o'clock, homes left in shambles.
Families flee as an explosion decimates a Silver Spring apartment complex.
The top floor has collapsed above you.
Tonight, 7 News is hearing stories of survival.
I have a pretty baby in there, so I went in and picked him up.
Heroics.
I busted out a few doors to get some extra people out.
And hope.
My family is also safe.
As the community proves that not even a catastrophic tragedy can shake their resolve.
God had us. He had the hand on us.
7 News is on your side with team coverage on that powerful explosion. Let's start the night with Jay Korf. He's live at the scene right now. Jay, what are conditions like out there tonight?
Michelle and Jonathan, still a large presence of police and fire for a number of reasons. First off, fire's here to deal with any hot spots, and police, of course, are securing the area for tomorrow when dogs and an excavator will be back to search through the rubble for anyone unaccounted for.
Witnesses say it sounded like the world coming to an end.
It was very horrifying and scary.
Thursday morning, a massive explosion ripped apart more than a dozen units at the Friendly Garden Apartments in Silver Spring, sending residents running for their lives and into the arms of loved ones.
Like a bomb, you know, just like that, like a bomb.
The blast so massive that windows, shades, toys, and much more landed more than 100 yards away. Some items lodged in trees.
The front end was already exploded out, and the top part was gone.
Steve Inman ran to the burning building and immediately started pulling people out.
I busted out a few doors to get some extra people out.
And then I saw a woman. She was trying to get her baby out of the building because she couldn't get out, so she dropped her baby through the window.
Krishma Bashyal says it was Inman who caught that baby.
I'm just glad I was able to be there to help.
Gloria Abarca and her son are among approximately 100 residents now displaced.
Screaming myself, crying and screaming, calling his name.
As soon as I get out, I see the whole entire building just getting engulfed in flames.
Montgomery County fire officials say 10 people were transported to hospital, some with serious injuries. 3 buildings remain unsafe to occupy. Another 3 will eventually be reopened. The grave concern now is if anyone did not get out, and this community wants answers.
I wonder myself what the cause of the explosion is. Just sad.
And one resident told me tonight that she actually smelled gas prior to the explosion. We should be very clear here, though. Washington Gas and investigators say they do not have a cause. It remains under investigation. Obviously, a lot of families are hurting tonight, looking for a place to live. For more on those efforts, we go live now to Annalisa Gale. Annalisa?
Hey, Jay, we know about 100 people were displaced following that explosion, and many of them started here at the Cofield Recreation Center, where they registered during the day. They were then transported to the White Oak Recreation Center, where many of them remain overnight. One by one, families registered for help at a recreation center in Silver Spring hours after this. I heard boom. Josephine Jisibaye says she heard that loud sound on Thursday morning. She later scrambled to alert her family and others. I have a preemie baby in there, so I went in and picked him up. Shortly after, she walked out to this scene near her apartment unit. These images were captured from her cell phone. She'll need a place to stay until it's safe to return with her husband and 4 children. How are you feeling, right now? Traumatized, I'm an immigrant. I have my family back home. And so I was even crying at that time. I'm like, oh God. But anyway, I am happy at least I'm safe and my family is also safe.
We will keep an overnight shelter open as long as it's needed.
County Health and Human Services spokesperson Mary Anderson, who also assisted with the 2016 explosion at another apartment building in the county, says services will be available as long as needed.
So we've got staff already looking for permanent placements.
And that mom that we spoke to this evening says she's just not sure if her daughter will be able to make it to school tomorrow with the uncertain times that they are living in right now. But we do know that MCPS did release a statement saying that they're working with families that are impacted.